What's up, everyone? This is Matt Rosick. This will be work in progress number 1 on Hellboys. So I've got the Hulk over here. As you can see, he's standing here. He's ready for paint. Unfortunately, my spray booth is not big enough for him, and it's too cold outside to paint right now. So I'm going to have to build a larger spray booth. I've ordered the motor I need. Once the motor gets here, I can actually build the spray booth, which should take me about a day. So hopefully the motor will get here this weekend on Saturday, and then I can build this weekend, and I can start laying paint on him. So since I've got a few days to kind of wait for that, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping Hellboys. So after the Hulk, the next, my spot number 1 is Hellboy. So I'm going to do 2 for a client, and I'm going to do my personal one at the same time. So I'm going to try to knock 3 of these out at one time. We'll see. If you guys follow me, you saw my first Hellboy I did for Leo back in September. It went really well. It's got a lot of people wanted Hellboy, so including mine, I'm doing 7 or 8 over the next year or so. So I'm going to go over the kit real quick, and there are a few differences between my kit and these kits. My kit I bought a few years ago, so it's an older casting, and not a whole lot of difference. You'll notice that mine has a couple different colors of resin, like the torso's in gray. A lot of the body parts are in this kind of yellow resin, and the base is like a white resin, completely different from these guys, which is what I had the first time I did a Hellboy. So these 2 kits are the same, so I'll just go over one. So you have the base right here, and you have the legs, and with the legs you have feet, obviously. So right there. So you get the legs, the feet, the base, the torso right here. Then we have the right arm, which has the Fist of Doom on it. And then here's the actual fist that will go in there like that. For the left arm, it's blank, and you have the option of open hand or the gun hand. And everyone pretty much displays it with the gun hand because it just looks cool. And then we have the head right here. Narin does an amazing job. His sculpt is awesome. Castings are really good. My casting needs a little bit more work than these 2 so far, it looks like, but a really nice job as usual. And then we have his tail right here. And then we have, so I showed you the gun hand, but this is really cool. The gun's really cool. Super detailed. The first one I did all hand painted. I'll do the same on these guys. It has 2 full-length horns right here. They're taped together. And these, as nice as the bottoms are keyed, a triangle and a square, so they fit. They have specific spots on the head, so they line up correctly. Here's his holstered gun. Again, a lot of nice detail in these pieces. These will get leather treatment and all the metal trim I did before. And then we got his knife in that cool sheath, which will do the jade treatment again with the metal trim. And then in here we have all his accessories. So we got a grenade, really cool detail. This looks like a smoke bomb maybe. I can never figure out what this is. Horseshoe. Then we have his cutoff horns right here. Put these down. So we got the cutoff horns. And again, those are key, so they go on specific sides. It's got 4 pouches right here, all different sizes and different details in those. And those will get a leather treatment also. And a crucifix. So basically all these are going to get painted exactly the same way I did the first one. That's the client's request. So, and since I really like the first one I did, I'm going to do mine too. So I learned a few things doing the first one that hopefully will save a little time on these. Let me show you the differences in my kit. So other than the different colors of resin, you can see here's mine's kind of yellow, and these are more orange. These are still pretty good clean castings. My torso has a decent mold line, but it's nothing big. I guess the biggest difference is the base color. This is kind of a whitish, almost translucent resin. there. Let's see what else. And then the torso is gray. And here I've got on this one he didn't go through and clean up the mold line, which is fine. I prefer that casters don't clean up the kit at all. I'd rather just get it straight from the mold. That way I know what needs to be worked on. It looks like I may have a couple bubbles that will pop up as soon as I start sanding on this one. Like I said, mine's an older casting. I bought this a few years ago. Other than that, everything's pretty much the same except for the color of the resin. Now, the one thing that is different is that I only got the gun hand. My kit does not come with the open hand, which is fine because I want to display with that anyway. So, I'm not sure if that's something he added later or what the deal is, but I don't have an open hand. Now, the first one I did when I got it, it didn't come with a metal plate. So these all have a metal plate that says Hellboy on it. So I actually talked to Narin and see if I could get a couple spare metal plates. I'm doing so many, I'm not sure if they all have them in or not. And then I got the same accessories as the other two. So this first video is going to be basically, the trickiest part of this is going to be keeping all the parts to the corresponding kits together, since I'm doing 3. I think what I'm going to do today, I'm going to probably the first thing I need to do, and this is just learning from the first one I did, is I'm going to probably go ahead and pin and epoxy the feet in, because until those are in place, I can't put magnets in the base. That will give me the stance and all the spacing I need to put magnets in the base. So I'll do that today. And then while that's going on, sorry, I gotta clear my throat. Excuse me. I could probably go ahead and get like the heads in and get those puttied and let that putty start drying overnight so I can sand it in the next few days. So we'll do that. The one thing I learned, the most important thing I learned from the last one is I'm not going to magnetize the torso to the legs. I ended up gluing it together anyway, and last time I had there's like $20 worth of magnets in there, and the idea was cool, but in the end, I just kept on scratching the paint, taking it apart, so I ended up just gluing it together in the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a nice big, at the very end, I'll have a nice big 1/4 inch rod in here, going in here, and I'll just epoxy these together like I did the first one. That one I don't have to worry about magnets and everything. That'll save a lot of time, actually. I spent a lot of time doing those magnets on that first one, and in the end I didn't end up not using the magnets. So I can get the legs, the feet epoxied on the legs today. I can also go ahead and get these arms pinned and putty and epoxied today. I can get all that stuff so they'll be drying overnight. I'm going to use Aves to fill in the gaps. So let's see, I might not have enough clamps. I may have to get more clamps. So I may have to go buy more clamps because I only got 2 of the right size. So yeah, so the goal is basically kind of get the legs pinned, get the legs epoxied on, or the feet epoxied to the legs on all 3 of these. Get the arms pinned and epoxied on. Don't know if I should. Yeah, I should probably just worry about the arms, and then I can do the head after the arms. We'll see. Trying to think what I did last time, if I did all 3s at the same time, or what I did. At least this head fits in here nicer than the first one I did. The first one I did, the head sit kind of into the socket too far. This one seems pretty flush. So once I, fill in the gap with putty and stuff, it should be good to go. So yeah, so this is just an intro. Show you the kits, show you the difference between my kit and the other 2 kits. So I'm going to work on these while I'm waiting for parts for the spray boost. I can paint Hulk. And that's really it for this video. It's actually a short one for me, 9 minutes. Yeah, just the intro, and then I'll do some more videos of the pinning and stuff with the feet and stuff. So that's it for this video. The next one I'll show you how I pin and epoxy the legs and so forth. So as always, thanks for watching. It's Matt Mrozek. Catch you guys next time.